Hello! Today I am going to teach you how to cross stitch. This is our November Make project for the Carroll Area District Library. What you're seeing in your camera is the pattern that we're going to be using. You'll be able to pick up your kits the second Monday of November, and then this is going to be our project. So this is the finished product, and I'll show you where we're going to start. Inside your kit, you're going to have several things. You will have an embroidery hoop that has cross-stitch fabric on it. You will have a needle that will be threaded through the fabric. You will have a bundle of 14 colors of embroidery floss, which will be wrapped around one of these little cards to keep track of it. And then you'll also have a bundle of papers. It's going to have three. There's a how to start, in case you like written directions. There is a pattern with colors, and there's also a pattern with symbols, if you prefer to do it that way. So today I'm going to show you how to get started. So I'm going to go ahead and slip this needle out of the fabric, and I'm going to use a piece of thread that I already have pre-cut to show you. We're going to use blue today. Now when you get embroidery floss, it's kind of tricky. You think, wow, this is a really big, thick piece of floss that I'm going to have to thread through this little tiny hole in my needle. There we go. It is a trick. You do not need this whole thing. This floss is actually 6 strands of thread. So, let's see if I can do this on camera. I'm going to try and pick out one of these little threads. And what you can actually do is pull it out from the end. The rest kind of is going to make a little bunch behind your fingers, like this, which is totally fine because we'll be able to straighten that out in a second. So I got my one out, and look, my thread goes right back to normal. I'm going to set that to the side. So then I'm going to just use this one strand of the blue thread that I pulled out. What I'm going to do is even it out. So I have one end here, and the other end, 2 ends here to make it even. So at this end, I have a little loop. So then I'm going to take my needle, and I'm going to put that little loop through there and pull it through like this. Now you're going to have to look at your pattern to see exactly where you want the blue thread. You can follow the pattern exactly with the colors exactly like it is in this one if you want to, or you can mix and match your colors. You can make your books multiple colors. You can make your text a color other than black. Use your imagination and your creativity. I follow the pattern so that I would show you what that would look like if you do that. But you're welcome to do whatever you want. So I'm just going to show you basically how to start cross stitching, and then you can continue on in whatever way you want to do it. So theoretically, I would count on my pattern which square to start with on the blue. I'm just going to do this for an example today, so do not worry about my exact placement. So when you cross stitch, this is the best way to start. I'm going to go through the front, which seems funny, but you'll see in a second. Go through the front, and I'm going to keep my thumb on the end that's still got the loop on it. And so then in the back of the embroidery hoop, I'm going to pull the rest of the thread through until it's all the way through. Okay, so now I am going to come up in the little hole in the fabric that's kitty corner from the one where I am right now. I'll show you here. See how it's kitty corner up and across? So I'm going to pull my needle through and then loop it through the end of this. So, of course I got a knot in the back while I was talking to you and not looking at what I was doing. All right, make sure you don't lose your fabric on the front. Okay, So I'm pulling it through. Oh, a little knot there. There we go, fixed my knot. Okay, so now you think, well, this is silly. Why do we have all this thread in the front? Well, we're going to get rid of it by going back through the hole that we originally went into. We're going to pull, and then you should hear a little pop in the fabric. It's kind of quiet. So there we go, we have half of a stitch. So you normally start the stitch in the bottom right hand corner, it goes to the top left hand corner. Then if you're just doing one stitch, I'm going to come out in the top right hand corner of the square. You see that? And then I'm going to go into the bottom left hand corner of the square. And there I have one completed stitch. Now you'll see on the how to start that you can do your cross stitching in a variety of ways. If you're a beginner to cross stitch, you may want to do each individual square by an X. If you've been a little more advanced, you can do a little more complicated way and make a bunch of half X's and then come back and cross them off. There's a variety of ways to do it, but it's all pretty simple, and I'm going to let you get at it. I'm going to link some YouTube videos on the website for you from professional cross stitchers, not just me. And we hope you'll send us pictures of your completed projects. We're sure they're going to look great.